Hi, it's Simon, and I've been a little overwhelmed recently trying to keep up with my emails. Do you recognize this feeling? Most of us do, and ever since my Notion template business took off, I realized the benefits of success come with a whole bunch of extra work too. So, with some help from a talented generalist company, I've created a custom AI email assistant for my Gmail account. And it's amazing. Let me show you how it works, how you might create your own automation for whatever your personal admin overwhelm is right now. And thank you to Make, the key to all of these automations, for partnering with the channel for all of this. So this isn't an absolute 100% every single step demo, but it is definitely a really great starting point to learn how to use Make and how to connect Gmail with ChatGPT in a meaningful way so you can have a play. This is my Notion-focused email inbox. It's full of repeating inquiries about Notion templates, icon packs, Discord community, questions, and other specific Notion help requests. So the aim here will be to Number one, identify the various emails that I get and how then to process responses. Number two, train a custom ChatGPT assistant on these examples so that they can classify the emails and later down the line actually respond for me. And then number three, share every new email with ChatGPT so it can analyze them and do the work for me. Now, these last two stages will use my Make account to create a workflow that does it all automatically. In fact, it's been doing it for a while. Now, of course, you could set a bunch of filters that look a bit like this in Gmail. But what this misses is that AI intelligence we can get from something like ChatGPT, which can actually be a bespoke trained agent based on information specific to my business. Before we dive into how all this can work surprisingly easily, here's a quick overview of Make, a powerful no-code focused automation tool that makes it easy to create workflows across a wide range of apps with a great visual interface. And from our experience so far, if I jump to our homepage, it's the perfect combination of like easy to use, but also with some super flexible and powerful features when you need them. This is the integration that we've been building. And as you can see, it's pretty satisfying. You can just drop new things in. There's a different set of tools. And of course, I can then add various extensions to my accounts. Notably, you could do a load of stuff in Notion. They also have a bunch of templates which have templated workflows that you can just take and then finish off by connecting your accounts. Some that have caught my eye are this one, a Notion database sync with Google Calendar. So if I open this up, it's all already built and ready to go. You just connect your accounts and essentially you would have a system. If you want that, it's still not something that is offered by Notion, and they've got you a ready-made template built. Another favorite of mine in here is this one, a save new Gmail attachments to a Google Drive automatically. So if you run a small business or a side hustle, this is a brilliant no-brainer for a few quick workflows, whatever you need. So go check out Make and let me know how you get on. You can use my link below to get your first month of a pro plan for free, including 10,000 operations a month. Amazing. Okay, understanding the emails I get and how to respond. Now, a great way to plan any automated workflow is to visualize it with a flowchart. Now, to do this for the first time, I tried FigJam. Now, FigJam is surprisingly easy to use. It's a Figma product and it's super intuitive and free. It has helped me to clarify the categories I want to set for this email classification. And as we work, we'll know that we've engineered the first level automation that will then serve us as we go further, building out more automation systems. If you have a look at this, I've actually gone really, really deep with the detail. So you can see, a new email comes in, and then I've got a various range of possible things that it might be, asking for refunds, asking for help with Discord or support. Each one kind of carries down a string of possibilities. Imagine once we've spent a little more time, this will eventually be able to send tailored automatic responses to customers directly as they need them, and even draft specific responses based on my previous replies, which I've got in a massive list of drafted emails here that you can see. Look, there's tons of different questions that we've created and we've classified them like that. Of course, I've gone here super, super deep. Now, eventually I'll want to simplify this down at least twice to create a foolproof automated system. But for now, we know that we can confidently start with these key email instances. So those are what we're gonna start with. Now, for the make automation build. Right, this is my make workspace so far. If I click into scenarios, this is the one we are building, and it's actually easier than you might think to integrate Gmail with a ChatGPT assistant using this. So what happens from a top-down perspective is you will get a new email. I've linked it to my account. Then the email gets fed down here into my ChatGPT agent, which is this. In here, the email title and the main body of it gets fed into my 3.5 GPT agent. It's relatively cheap to run. If the accuracy of the model was not good enough, then we could always upgrade it to 4 if we wanted to go a little bit further. There are cost implications to doing that. And for what we wanted to do, the 3.5 turbo is really cheap and we probably won't notice it. It's literally going to be pennies for like a few hundred rounds. Then this bot will classify an email to the 8 different categories that we distinguished in the FigJam. So the planning has paid off. We've got things like partnership offer, a discount clarification, delivery issue, and so on and so forth. And then we push it to one of these Gmail connections with a router. It's kind of like in programming if you have an if statement. So the output of the GPT gets threaded through this router, and if it matches one of these, then it will go up that dotted line and it will take action based on each of these options. So that's the build. Why don't we go back to scenarios and I'll show you how easy it is to build it. So this is my demo. We're going to add in a Gmail and we're going to do watch emails, and I will link it to my email account. If you need to add a connection, you just click add and you would find sign in to what you need, but we've got it working. Folder, I want to select all mail. I want a simple filter and criteria, all emails. I'm going to leave the maximum entries as 1 because we just want to look at each email as it comes. So you can choose when it happens. I'm just going to set it from now. And you'll see this little dot is you can add another module. And the next one we want to link it to is going to be OpenAI. Now I'm going to message an assistant. So I want to send this message to an assistant that we have created. And you can see my email classification assistant I've built, which I will show you in the next stage of the video. Now the message I want to send it is basically, I want it to read some specific things. I want it to read subject, and we'll make the subject that. And I want body to be the text content. Assistant, I'm going to use the classic one. And thread ID, we're going to leave empty. Okay, I also want to edit this here and set up a filter. We'll call this filter out replies. Now the condition is subject does not start with, and we'll make it the case insensitive option 3. So if it is a reply within the email string, I don't want it to do anything. I only want it to do it for new emails. So we'll do that. Okay, so that's the first stage. Then we're going to add another module. And this module, we're going to find a router. A router is that if statement that we wanted. And then here, we're going to want to then add Gmail again. Now with this, I want it to label something. Modify email labels. There you go. The Gmail message ID, I want it to be this down here. And I've set up my labels in the email. So if we jump back to here, in labels, we can just create our labels based on what you need. And then if we go back, we can then just select them. So that's going to be delivery issue. Okay. And at this stage, that's the build. I just now need to go through and clone, go back into it. I won't have to redo the work and I can just adjust the label. And we would just literally work down. I'm right clicking, clone, move it, work my way down the list of my labels like so. And that would be how you built it. Now we have to label these connections and we need these to do a thing. So here, I want this to be the result from my assistant, which I will create later on. We're going to make it equal to the name of it, make sure all that's correct. There you go. Now, this is all great, but if you don't create that custom GPT assistant right, all of this is for nothing. And again, with a little guidance, it's quite simple. So if you want to know the basics, here's how it works. In ChatGPT, you are probably used to seeing something like this. What is 2 plus 2? And then you'll get your answer. And you're going to get an interactive bot-like experience like this. This is an interface for humans to use, but we need an interface for our bot to interact with. So this isn't really going to do it. So we have to go to a slightly different product that OpenAI provides. They have this chat function, which is the first one I've showed you. They also have assistants. You might have come across these as well. And these are custom GPTs that you can create your own. Maybe we want to call it something like Simon's tone of voice, and we can say use a lot of emojis, and you're an expert in copywriting, then I can say, please convert this sentence into Simon's tone of voice. The fat cat is a good cat. So you get something like this. Now, this is a custom trained GPT where you don't need to provide it with instructions all the time. You can also add knowledge sources like databases, PDFs, all kinds of stuff into there, which is really great. And you can do all of that in a custom GPT. Custom GPT assistants are what we need to use, which are a interface-facing product rather than a human-facing product. It's the automation and API product from GPT. So what I would do is within Better Creating, I would create a new project. There it is. This is my new project. And then I can create a bot. So here's what we've made. And if I open this up, it's an email classification bot. We're using the GPT model here. We've given it a set of instructions. So we've told it that it's a email classifier specializing in classifying emails. It's a pretty typical way to do things. And we've classified the 8 different categories from our Figma list into it there. And then we've given it a set of specific instructions of what we want the output to be. So we've put the input is going to be subject and body. And if you notice, this here is going to be the same as this in here. So we've aligned those two. That's really important. And then we want the output to be our category name, and these are our category names. This is a relatively bare bones build, but from our testing, we've found this has been working really, really well. And then below here, you'll see a set of examples that we've put in. And these are example emails that you might get with a subject and a body, and the output is what we would want the output to be. So you give all of this context so it can make better decisions. So then what we'll do is we need to link this using an API key. So we create a new secret key. You would name whatever you want it to be, and you would link it to the project and create the key, copy that key down, and then we jump over into our setup. And when we connect this up, we would have added the API key so that it can link into the assistant in Make. I should also say that assistants are pay per use. So you're probably aware that you can get things like ChatGPT Plus, an upgrade, and pay a £20 a month, say, for the Plus plan. And that will give you all these additional things, but you don't actually need that for these assistants, which is really cool. So if you go into your platform, your organizational overview, you will be able to find that, look, this is just doing like pennies for actions. And you can see on the automation side, this has run probably like 5,000 instances, and it's been like 0.9 of a penny since we've been running it. So it's super cheap. That way you can use this automation facing product of OpenAI as pay per use. So it's going to be a really great way for you to do a load of stuff, and it will use less tokens if you put less instructions. So try and keep as concise as you can. So there it is, the full automation created in Make and ChatGPT. You can see that it has been running and has been effective, and we've been getting stuff labeled. If I look at, for example, discount requests, we've got discount requests. It seems to be working really nicely. This is just the beginning of what will be a great little series of videos on how AI and no-code automations can be used for all of these streamlining workflows. The next step will be to match my answers that I have drafted to the questions and see if the bot can start to draft responses. So give a Make automation a go. Let me know how you get on. But remember, automating your work means nothing unless you are first using the right systems and thinking for yourself to keep on top of things. So I recommend you watch this video next for my top productivity tips to make life easier, or check this one out for a full tour of my latest Notion Second Brain template that is the key to staying on top of things for me. Click my face to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.